All right, okay, something new for today, bringing you massive value, as I would say. Coming through with something new. So, my AI employee, first one I built, worked its last shift for about 22 cents. That's a real number, off a real bill from a real agent AI employee that does real work for my business every single week. 4 days ago, DeepSeek shipped a new model, and their published prices say that exact same shift would have cost me about half a cent. That's roughly 40 times cheaper. So, on paper, that is true. And I need you to hear both halves of this sentence because the internet is only going to scream the first half. So, in this video, I'm going to show you my actual payroll. We're going to reprice it line by line at DeepSeek's claimed rates. And then I'll give you the 3 reasons I have not switched yet, because the cheapest model is not always the cheapest employee. Let's do the math. All right, so here's what actually shipped. So, July 31st, DeepSeek put a new model called V4 Flash into public beta. This is their fast, cheap tier, not their flagship. The claim prices are the story: 14 cents per million tokens going in, 28 cents per million coming out. And if the model has seen the text before the cash hits, they claim it drops to fractions of a cent per million. So, to translate that, I'm not a developer, and most of the people that are watching this probably aren't either. A token is roughly 3/4 of a word. A million tokens is more than most novels. So the claim on the screen is your AI reads an entire novel's worth of material for about 14 cents. So who is this aimed at? The update is reported as an agent capability upgrade, plus compatibility with the formats that agent tools already speak. In plain English, they are aiming this straight at people like me, people running AI agents to do real work. So a quick flag before we go any further, because this is the most important sentence in the video. I have not tested this model yet, not even one run. Not at least for this agent. I have tried it out. So every number on the screen is DeepSeek's claim, not my receipt. There is a difference between a menu and a meal. So today we're reading the menu. So why make the video at all? Because when the claim floor drops this hard, the math is worth doing before the testing. The math tells you what is worth testing. That's what an operator does. Run the numbers first, spend the hours second. All right, so now I'm going into my real payroll. Quick recap for everyone who's new here, because this only makes sense if you know what I'm actually running. I have some AI employees. The first one I built, the first one in the workflow, is a research agent. So once a week, it clocks in by itself. No reminder from me, no button press. It studies how my recent content performed. It hunts for what's working in my lane. And it hands me a state of video ideas with reasoning attached. So I'm still the boss. It drafts, I approve. Nothing gets published without going through me. The part matters for where this video is headed. Now the receipts, and I want to be precise about the size of the data set. This agent is only about 2 to 3 weeks old. It has worked about 3 shifts. I'm not going to pretend that's a month of payroll data because it isn't. Its last shift, about 21,500 tokens in, about 7,700 tokens out. So that's about 22 cents with the model I was using. I believe that was an Opus model. Both shifts together, every token this employee has ever burned in his life, under $1, easy. The other line is the server it lives on, and that's $5 a month. And all my other agents live on that same server, so even that $5 isn't all, that one agent. The thinking is just cents. The rent is shared. So, this is like nothing. You could be broke and you could still figure a way to do this. So here's where most videos would multiply the 22 cents by 4, hand you a nice clean monthly number. I'm not going to do that. Even if it was $22, $22,000, that would be a projection, not a receipt. This channel runs on receipts. When the employee has a real month on the books, you'll get the real month. So the return so far, I walked through the honest return math in the 22-cent video. So I'm not going to rerun it here, but you can go check out that last video I did explaining my first agent. So here goes the on paper math. Essentially, line by line, the shift sent about 21,500 tokens in at their claim 14 cents per minute. That's about a third of a cent. And like I said, I got about 7,700 back. It's about a fifth of a cent. So this is DeepSeek's pricing. If I were to use DeepSeek's model. So if you add it up, that's half a cent. The whole shift, the same shift that cost me 22 cents today. But I mean, multiply that, it could be 22 or 2,200 or 22,000. So it depends on how long the workflow is going for. This is just running on one shift, but 22 cents against a half a cent, same shift, same tokens, roughly 40 times cheaper. And here's the sentence I actually stand behind. 40x is the thumbnail number. The honest sentence is about 40 times cheaper on paper, and paper is not production. And because the payroll history is only 2 shifts, I can't really do something like trace the employee's entire career. I mean, I am, but the entire career is only 2 to 3 weeks. Every token it has ever burned under 50 cents of thinking becomes about a penny at their claimed rates. Its whole working life so far, 1 penny. I mean, that sounds like too good to be true. Like, why would you even use any other model when it's like that much cheaper, right? That's like the framing that kind of was put across me, and that wasn't even coming from like DeepSeek from the company. That was just coming from like when I first heard about it through social media. So why does it even matter? Because of what it makes possible next. And this is the real headline for anyone building small. At prices like this, running this agent every single day instead of once a week costs pennies. Running 10 agents cost what 1 used to. The price collapse doesn't shrink my bill. It expands what I'm allowed to imagine on the same budget. All right, so if that's the case, why have I not switched yet? It's not about switching. Even though it's 40 times cheaper, why didn't I switch? 3 reasons, and the 3 most useful things I can teach you in this video. First one, quality per dollar beats dollars. This agent quality matters a lot. This agent output gets graded. I have another agent that just grades the output from this, and I myself manually grade it. That all goes into a database. That all helps make it smarter and better every week. Every week, its ideas are scored against what actually got made and how those content pieces perform. A cheaper model that writes a worse slate is not a discount. It's a pay cut disguised as a raise. All it takes is 1 bad week of research, and I mean, the cost is way more than what I would, save from using the DeepSeek model versus the Opus model, or even like a Codex model or a Frontier model, basically. And 1 video is worth more to this business than a full year of token savings. So, a failed run still costs money and still earns 0. If the run fails, even if, say, I do the run, it gets graded as failing, it has to do the run again. So I'm still paying for the run no matter what. So why not just do it 1 time and do it right? I mean, that's the time right there. Even the time of running it over and over again, even if I ran it 100 times and 1 or 2 times it got like a good output, that would still end up costing more than if I ran the good model. So here's the 3rd reason. Switching isn't free. Swapping the engine on a working employee means testing time. I test all my different models with each different agent. Side-by-side comparisons, weeks of watching it before I trust it. Running models head-to-head through 1 gateway is on my list, and I want to be straight with you, it is not built yet. I don't claim things I haven't built. When I run that test, you'll see the real numbers here, same as always. And I guess in a way I have started building it, and some of the metrics are there. It's just not complete. But here's the decision rule. And you can steal this for any AI tool, not just this one. Don't ask what it costs per token. Ask what a failed shift cost you. Price the failure, not the token. And so here's exactly what would make me switch. A month of shifts at the same grade my current model earns at anything close to the claim price, evidence first, then movement. That order never flips. So, when I'm saying all this, I want to say it with my prediction. I've been in this market, I've been in this niche, I've been in this game for, building with AI, maybe like 6 months now, really just like using AI a good 2 years at least. And I've heard a lot of different perspectives on where things are going, but what I think is that token prices are going to keep going down. They're going to keep racing down towards 0, especially for routine agent work. the cost of running an AI employee will stop being the story entirely, and the moat moves to the data, the approval gates, and the judgment. It's all going to be about the setup. I mean, you could have the same agents running on a different setup, and it would not cost the same amount of money, if that makes sense. So depending on how you set it up is major. And I mean, I have a fleet right now of about 10 agents, and maybe only 2 or 3 of them really use the same model. So it's all about finding the right model for the right agent. And none of my models right now seem to make sense to use this new DeepSeek model. But I do see future agents that I plan on building that it would make sense. So that is the good side of this, is like this just opened my mind to new possibilities. Certain agents, it would make sense that, like, you know, even though it might only be 20 cents per run that I'm saving, like, it's just not necessary. And I would know that over time by working with all my agents, running different models on them, understanding what they require for their outputs. So that's why I'm making this decision, is because my intuition, what I see moving forward, is that prices on these agents are going to get cheaper and cheaper. They're going to keep coming out. They're going to keep getting, like, you know, competition, the best next new model every month, every other week. And what's going to happen with that? The previous best model that's still like really good, maybe only like 5% worse than the brand new model, is going to take a major price cut. And I think it's just going to keep doing that. So we're going to still have all these older models that are going to be just like dirt cheap. And I mean, that's already going on, but like think of a year from now. I mean, I think it's just going to get so much cheaper just to run these agents. And it's all going to be about the setup. It's all going to be about doing it right. Most people I see talking about agents right now, they're not on the level of what I'm building. Like, they're not building custom agents. They're talking about like one agent that just does random tasks, or maybe like a few easy tasks over and over again. But it's really rare that I'm seeing anything that's on the level of what I'm building now. And I've been studying these agents. I'm really spending the majority of my time on this. This is like why I got into this, all about building better business systems. So here's the one sentence to take with you. DeepSeek's new model makes my AI employee roughly 40 times cheaper on paper. And paper is not production. But zoom out with me for a second, because the bigger story is the direction. Every time the price floor drops on the agents, the door opens wider for regular people to run a real AI payroll, not corporations, regular people. A one-person business running an employee for a few cents was science fiction 2 years ago. I mean, that was science fiction. Even a one-person business running a AI employee, I mean, 5 years ago, like, I don't even think that was probably considered science fiction about 5 years ago. So today, it's just my Sunday morning. There is room at this table for everyone, and the seats keep getting cheaper. If you want to start building your own, grab my free starter kit. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. And make sure, like you do every time, give thanks. Go ahead, subscribe if you haven't already. Coming through with new information steady. Make sure you like up the like button, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Give thanks every time.